Okay, you here know the recording is in progress. We will go into details to the CEE Fellowship program. So I will try to share the screen with you. Maybe somebody can give me a notice if everybody can see my screen.
It is working.
It's working? That's fine.
Yes.
So my colleague Constanze Fuhrmann will start with the general information about the program. And after that, we will go on with the detailed information about our fellowship program. Constanze, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nicole, for handing over. My name is Constanze Fuhrmann. I'm the head of the unit Environment and Cultural Heritage here at the German Federal Environmental Foundation, in short, DBU, and I'm also responsible for the fellowship program for Central Eastern Europe, especially for the countries Bulgaria, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Serbia, Estonia, Latvia, and also Lithuania. And yeah, we would now like to give you some background information about the great program and also about the application process and its context. And yeah, I'm very pleased to see that so many of you have come here and are interested in. So let me start with some background information on the foundation itself and its history. The DBU is one of the biggest foundations in Europe, and it's even one of the largest environmental foundations in the world, an aspect that makes us always very proud. And yeah, we were founded in 1990 on the initiative of the federal government. However, it's worth mentioning that we were founded under civil law, which means that we are also politically independent, which is also very important for our work. And also a few more words about the financing. We started with a funding capital of around 1.3 billion euros, coming from the sale of the federal-owned steel group, Salzgitter, a company that was privatized at that time. And as you can see, the foundation's grants are well invested and could be also increased to around 2.4 billion by now. Can you go to the next slide? Or wait, I think I can't. Okay, thank you. Since then, this money has been well invested meaningfully in innovative projects to protect the environment. So far, we have been able to support more than 10,600 projects with a funding volume of around 2 billion euros, and counting on the year, that makes around 50 to 60 more or less million euros granted annually for project funding. The next slide. Yeah, here an overview of the structure of our foundation. As you can see at the top of the slide in the blue blocks, the foundation is led by our Secretary General, Mr. Alexander Bonde, and associated to that, we have several departments, also the 4 main departments for finance administration, the department for environmental technology, the 3rd one for environmental research and nature conservation, and us, the department environmental communication and cultural heritage protection, where, as you can see from the red cycles on the far right, the fellowship program for Central and Eastern Europe is also established, which is already in place for 25 years now. As I already mentioned briefly, the DBU was founded in order to promote innovative projects to protect the environment and the climate. And in accordance to that, we support projects particularly in 3 fields that are: firstly, environmental technology, which means research, development, and use of new environmentally friendly technologies in the sense of integrated environmental protection. And then environmental research and nature conservation, which includes the preservation and restoration of national nature heritage. And last but not least, environmental communication, because the exchange of knowledge about the environment and the promotion of environmental awareness through environmental education is always also important to us. Yeah, and these 3 central pillars of our funding feed into a total of 12 funding topics. And next slide. And these funding topics, are linked to the current scientific findings on planetary boundaries, as well as to the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, adopted by the United Nations. And because the guiding principle for us is sustainable development in accordance with Agenda 2031. So projects that we support should always have a sustainable impact into practice, as we would always like our funding to contribute to solving current environmental problems, which result from unsustainable conditions in society. And therefore, we want to bring sustainability to life, and that with projects that are interdisciplinary and also innovative at the same time. And this includes always projects that define the new state of the art, but at the same time set standards and have a kind of model character. And next slide. And to give you a better idea about what kind of projects we actually fund, we would like to show you a few international examples now. A few years ago, for example, it's that one. We initiated a project which was about the regeneration of a garden in a monastery. It's the hospital garden of the Congregation of the Borum Sisters, which is located nearby the historic city center in Praha. And the area was purchased by the sisters of the monastery in the 19th century. And because of its historic value, it's now located both in the UNESCO World Heritage Area, the historic city center of Prague, and the Nature 2000 area of the so-called Petrine Hills, the mountain area, the green space nearby. And the reason why we decided to fund it was that the garden was in a very poor ecological condition, and also the historic buildings were severely neglected. So therefore, we wanted to have a concept that was developed which considers both historic conservation aspects and ecological concerns by analyzing archival sources, historic illustrations, but also to make an ecological survey of the flora and fauna. And so the project also wanted to address the tension between the disciplines of his conservation, for example, also by relevant knowledge transfer. We initiated lots of excursions, workshops, etc. And last but not least, also here, it also addresses the Sustainable Development Goals as an important aim to increase biodiversity in this garden area on the one hand, and to reactivate sustainable water management at the Petrine on the other hand side. So result was last sentence was an innovative concept for revitalization, and that reconciles actually historic conservation and ecological concerns. Yeah, that was it. And we hand over now to the next project that will be introduced by Alexander Bittner, my colleague.
Yeah, thank you, Constanze. Just briefly, a warm welcome even from my side. My name is Alex, and I'm Head of Division Formal Education and Civil Society in the DBU, and I'd like to present you two other international projects. The project on the slide was located in the Western Carpathian Mountains in Romania, and it focused on high mountain meadow landscapes. In the past, the meadows were maintained by farmers living there in the high mountain area. Now there are some challenges. The young people don't want to continue farming, and the forest is taking over the meadows, and the meadows are quite important for biodiversity, especially for wild herbs and orchids. And we supported a project in this area focusing on maintaining the meadows, managing the meadows in a sustainable way, by using new technology. You can see it on one of the photos, and it is based on a business model which is focusing on herbs used for medical for medicine and even for cosmetics. And the project was about how to keep the meadows open and how to stop reforestation in those areas, and how to use plants like Arnica montana or Crategus, but this is not a very endangered species, but maybe Primula elatior at the same time, to use it without risking the whole population by collecting too many plants. So the project focused on training approaches for the collectors, on maintaining approaches for the farmers. And a business was established, a company with 30 employees. And the company was able, or is able, to provide jobs to the people in the region and to keep them ongoing with farming. And at the same time, we were able to keep the open landscape, the meadows, and the biodiversity when it comes to herbs. So that was one example in the Western Carpathian Mountains from the perspective of biodiversity protection. The second example I want to present to you is focusing on citizen energy or prosumer energy. This was a collaboration project between Germany and the Czech Republic. Two NGOs cooperated together. The project focused on the development of citizen energy in Germany, as well as on the implementation of citizen energy projects in the Czech Republic as a starting point for a citizen-driven transition to an energy supply system based on renewables. While in Germany, because in Germany there is a longer tradition of citizen energy, while in Germany the focus was on the development of new business models for citizen energy projects and examples of good practice. In the Czech Republic, the focus was primarily on developing information materials, doing analysis and studies on the potential of citizen energy projects in this country. And at the same time, the NGO in the Czech Republic, they implemented information approaches based on new technologies, new media like newsletters, homepages, web pages, information events, online and offline for interested citizens in the Czech Republic. So that were three examples for international funding at a project level, just to let you know what is our main focus when it comes to projects in the DBU. Yeah, next slide. And now Nicole will continue.
Yeah, I will go on with our fellowship program. That is one part of the promoting of the DBU, but for you the most important ones. As you can see, we have this fellowship program in nearly 19 countries in the Middle and Eastern European. And we started this program 25 years ago in Poland. And after that, we went on with the Czech Republic, with the Baltic states, Slovakia, but also to Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and then from 2009 on to all the Balkan states, and from 5 years ago also from Ukraine. In every country, we have a coordinator, somebody who has already head-end fellowship from us, an alumni, also people who are in the field of environmental protection or nature conservation working. And these persons are responsible for the information campaign in the countries, but they are also your contact persons if you have questions and you want to ask them in your native language, or if you want to get in contact with somebody from your country. Also, in a lot of countries, we have alumni associations. These are associations with former fellows from us. They are meeting regularly, but for this, you will get more information at the end of our presentation. For who is this fellowship program? It's for graduates of all disciplines. That means that we will promote nature scientists, engineers, but also people from the law, from economic sides, from biology, from the agroforest systems, and so on. So everybody is welcome in our program. The only need is a topic in environmental or nature conservation, and you have to come for the fellowship to Germany. The stay in Germany you can organize on your own, or we will help you. You have to go to you can go to a university or a research institution, but also to a company, an authority, or ministry. It depends on you what you would like to do, what is your aim, and what you need for your further qualification. The duration is between 6 to 12 months. You have to know that every fellowship will start with a German intensive course in Germany, in Osnabrück, for 3 to 4 weeks. And this is the first month of your fellowship. And after that, you will have 5 to 11 months for your further qualification. The fellowship will be in the first time for 6 months, and after 4.5 months, you have the possibility to prolong it. Why did we split it? Because we had the experience that some of the alumni, or a lot of alumni, do not know exactly how long they will need for their task in Germany. So in the former times, we had fellows who said they would like to stay 12 months, and after 10 months, they already recognized that they are finished with their task. So that's the reason for the duration of 6 to 12 months. The fellowship is with a monthly amount of 1,350 euros. You will be the first one who will get 1,350 euros. We will rise up the amount just from February on. And this fellowship is free of tax. So all the money you will get in Germany is for you. And you will get an idle support from the supervisor in your host institution, but also from us and our colleagues in the DBU. What is the objective of this fellowship program? First of all, we would like to promote competent scientists and experts in environmental and nature conservation issues. We would like to reduce barriers and establish contacts. And we would like to give you experience in mediation, but also a knowledge transfer in different questions. For example, in scientific methodology questions, administrative questions, and so on. You should get to know the German language and the culture. That's also important. And also the alumni can tell you a lot of the German culture. And we would like to establish an active European-wide network by environmental experts. All these pictures you can see here on the slides are former fellows in the introductory seminar. You can see that we will start every date with nearly 20 to 30 fellows, and you will get to know them on the seminars and also in the first date with their German language course. So who can apply for this fellowship? You have to be a university graduate, master, magister, or diploma. A bachelor is not enough, but you can apply when you're in the last year of a master. That means that you do not have to finish the master already, but you should be in the master study. We have no age limit. That is maybe also important for some of you, and you have to have you have to graduate with an above average exam. PhD students can apply if they do not complete the doctoral project in the time of the founding period. So if you're a PhD student in the first, second, or third year, it's not a problem. You are very welcome for applying. The nationality must be one of the respective country, but it is also possible that if you make your master, for example, in Hungary, but you have the nationality from Albania, you can apply. Only one study, bachelor or master, have to be complete in your native country. Language skills, we don't expect German language knowledge, only good English knowledges are required for the application. What is the online application procedure? As I already mentioned, it's online, and we have 2 annually deadlines. One is the 5th of March, so it will be in 6 weeks, and one is the 5th of September. We have 2 possibilities for applying. One is in German and the other one is in English language, and you can choose it on your own when you are entering this online application system. There are several questions which you have to answer, where you are living, your address, your contact details, but also why you are interested to come to Germany. And after that, you have to handle in or to upload some documents. First is the CV, then the project proposal or the idea. It should be around 2 to 3 pages, but we need to know what you would like to do in Germany. It's not very comfortable for us if you are just writing about some general environmental problems. Just give us a concrete idea what you would like to learn in Germany. Then you have to upload copies of your university certificate, bachelor or master. If you do not have your master's certificate, just give us a note that this will be finished in the next months, and then you can handle it later. It don't have to be with you in the March, at the 5th of March. Then we need a letter of a recommendation from a university supervisor of your home country. If this is also not possible for the 5th of March, because your supervisor is on holiday or on a research stay in another country, just let us know and we will find a solution. If possible, it would be fine if we will get a confirmation of English or German language skills. And if you have questions, for sure, you can ask us, or also the coordinators and alumni will support you. So if the deadline is at the 5th of March, we will prove all the applications. And after that, we will select these candidates who are very good and invite them for a selection interview. It's a personal interview and you have to present your project idea in 10 minutes. And after that, we will have some questions. This personal interview is in front of a jury. For example, Alexander or Constanze will be within the jury, also the country coordinator, an alumni, and some environmental experts from your home country. The interview will be held in one of your countries. We have to look how many applications we have from each country, and after that we will decide where we will hold the interviews. If you are not from this country, you will get some travel costs from us that you don't have to pay everything on your own. And already one day after the decision, after the interview, we will give you the decision via email, telephone call, or so on. So that means in March, at the deadline, the interview will be in middle and end of April. Then you will already get the decision. And then in August, you can start the fellowship. Here you can see the way where you find the online application. We have a general information homepage, Fellowship for University Graduates from Central and Eastern European countries. There are also what we expect. We have some FAQs here also on this homepage. You can see some flyers with informations, a brochure, and also some information in your native languages. And very new also for the coordinators, for some maybe, we have an information video, and you will find it also on our homepage. In 3 minutes, you will get to know what you will need for the fellowship and the application. For every country, we have an own slide, an own homepage, a specific country site where you will find the registration and the login for the online application. There you can also see the application deadline, the interviews, the date, then when the fellowship will start, when the German intensive course will start, and also some information, for example, here from the Hungarian side, you will have in the Hungarian language. There are also the contact details of the Alumni Association and from our coordinators. Here is very shortly one time slot how the application procedure and selection will be. So you have now here the information by us, then the deadline in 6 weeks, the interviews, I think in nearly 3 months. Then you can prepare your stay in Germany and the German course and the fellowship will start. So the fellowship would start for you in August 2023. And the host institution can be organized by us, by the DBU, or you can do it on your own. It depends on every fellow or on every person, how they already know about Germany and their institutions in Germany. We will ask you in the interviews if you already have some contacts or if we can help you. And it doesn't matter, and it's not an advantage if you already have a host institution. Several weeks of the German intensive course before the fellowship is started, we will get very closely into contact. We will give you information about the fellowship, about the German course, and then the fellowship will start this year at the 20th of August. So I already mentioned the amount of 1,350 euros per month. The first amount will be in cash in Osnabrück, so you don't have to worry about it. And you also get directly in the first day the insurances. We are organizing them for you. It's a health, accident, and liability insurance. So you are very safe in Germany. We will invite you for DBU events, for example, for the German Environmental Award event, but also to seminars. So there will be a seminar every 3 or 4 months in Germany for you, and you will meet all the fellows who started with you, but also fellows who are already in Germany since 6, 8, 9 months. And you will be also supported by us. So after the introductory seminar, as you can see here, we are inviting you for seminars. The first picture is the introductory seminar, I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Then we went also to an excursion on the seminars. The seminars are there for you that you can meet each other again, that you will get to know the scientific or the research topics of the others, and that you get to know something in an excursion about the environmental issues in Germany. You are also invited to workshops, or you can organize workshops on your own. We are lucky in helping you. You can get a financial support for own workshops, but that is something we can also clarify when you are in Germany. Then you have the possibilities to visit conferences. You will get a fee, a financial support for the fee from us. And after the fellowship or at the end of the fellowship, you have to write a report. But I think that's totally normal. Just to give you a short overview, which disciplines we are supported in the last 25 years. First of all, we had by now nearly 40% of engineers. They are energy engineers, environmental engineers, but also from the field of architecture. Then we have the natural scientists with biologists, geography, and chemistry, for example. Then the agroforestry and food scientists, and the humanity and social science. So as you can see, everybody is very, very welcome. And where are the fellows going? Most of them are going to universities, but also to universities of applied sciences, and nearly 20% are going to company. Not so many are going to national parks. It was very famous a few years ago, but not by now, or also to NGOs. So if you would like to get an idea what kind of topics we had supported in the last 25 years, we have a database, a fellowship database on our homepage. And here you can see Stipendien für Mittel- und Osteuropa, fellowships for Middle and Eastern European countries. And yeah, there you can have a look from which country, which topics we had supported. For example, here is Czech Republic and Slovakia, and you can see that we have supported more than 180 people, and every person had a short summary about the topic he or she has done in Germany, and also contact details of herself and the supervising institution in Germany. So maybe it will help you to find a good idea, or also you can ask the people who are dealing with the same topic like you. So I will go on now, or to handle over to Alexander. He will give us some more explanation about what to do after the time in Germany. We would like to support you also after your fellowship in Germany. And Alexander, you can give us some more information about this.
Yeah, so the end of your fellowship after 6 or 12 months doesn't have to be the end of our relationship, because we offer you much more than the fellowship itself. So after you finished your fellowship, there will be an opportunity to apply for a small grant. I will tell you on the next slide what is a small grant, but I'd like to stay on this slide now, because the small grant lasts for maximum of 6 months directly after your fellowship. But maybe later on you want to come back to Germany for taking part in a conference, and for this we offer the opportunity of a travel fellowship. You can apply for support taking part in a conference in Germany, but just in Germany. If you want to stay for a longer period of time after your fellowship, after a small grant, or even without a small grant, you can apply for an alumni fellowship. An alumni fellowship will last for 3 months, and it follows more or less the same approach like the fellowship Nicole was describing. You go to a German institution, as she mentioned, and you can stay there for 3 months. Additionally, we will provide alumni activities in your home country. The alumni activities are based on the engagement of formerly fellows. They organize themselves in alumni associations. And we will hear a little bit more about this from one formerly fellow from Bulgaria later on. And if our experiences and even your experiences with us were quite good, and we experienced you as a reliable researcher or a practitioner, it is even possible to apply for an international project of a kind Constanze and I presented to you some minutes ago. So even this is possible. So please have in mind, it is a complex package we offer to international fellows, and it doesn't have to be the end after 6 or 12 months of fellowship. You can continue with different approaches as mentioned on this slide. But now I'd like to go into some details for the small grants, because we established the small grants not so long ago. A small grant should be an opportunity for the best fellows to test innovative ideas in your home country. What does it mean? It is a competitive approach, so not every alumni will get a small grant. It is competitive, so the best ideas will get a small grant. And the small grant is about to contribute competencies in the field of environmental protection and nature conservation or sustainable development in your home country. A small grant lasts for 6 months. It has to be done in your home country, so you have to have your residence in your home country and you have to do your field work and whatever you want to focus on in your home country. And the topic of your small grant should be related to one of the DBU funding topics. Yes, thank you. Typically, we have 3 different kinds of small grants. Plenty of small grants focus on field of action analysis. So at the moment, for example, we have one analysis for Kosovo concerning citizen energy or prosumer energy. Another type of small grant can be feasibility concepts for potential later projects. So, for example, in Hungary at the moment, we have one feasibility study, feasibility concept focusing on a kind of an environmental communication center in Budapest. Or it's even possible for people who are more interested in implementing practical approaches. You can do a test of a practical program in your home country, maybe focusing on environmental education, for sustainable development, or even some practical measures you want to implement when it comes to biodiversity protection or watershed or water, river protection and that kind of ideas. So it's just to give you an impression what would be possible in a small grant right after your fellowship when you think about traveling back home and to contribute to your country and the sustainable development there. Yeah, if you want to contact us, here are our contact details. Your questions are appreciated anytime. You can contact Nicole, Constance, and even me. We are responsible for different countries. You can see it on the slide. And yeah, that was more or less the presentation, but not the end, because I'm very happy to welcome one alumna from the past. It's Vanya Ratarova, and she is from Bulgaria. And Vanya was a fellow. I guess you started your fellowship, Vanya, in 2005. And since 2007, you are a country coordinator in Bulgaria. And yeah, thank you very much that you are willing to share your experiences as a fellow, as an alumna, and even as a country coordinator with all of us, because you know the program from inside, you know the challenges and you know the advantages. So thank you very much that you are willing to share your experiences. And now the floor is yours, Vanya.
Yes, hello to everyone. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very nice to be with all of you today. I am very happy to be part of this event and to share my experience. As Mr. Bittner already said, I was a DBU Fellowship holder. Well, it was almost 20 years ago now, in 2005 and 2006, and at that time, my topic for my stay in Germany was related to the role of the environmental NGOs in the process of a forest certification in Germany. And this scholarship was really very important for me as the start of my professional career. I did my scholarship at that time, first at the University of Freiburg, and afterwards at an NGO, an environmental NGO in Germany, which name is Naturschutzbund Deutschland. This was the partner of BirdLife International in Germany, and through this scholarship, it helped me to contact also the BirdLife partner in Bulgaria. And afterwards, after graduating the scholarship, I started working for this organization in Bulgaria. So it was really very important, this goal for at the beginning of my career. And I am working on the issue of forest conservation for already 20 years in Bulgaria. And I am still maintaining very good contacts with my colleagues from Germany, and also with other scholarship holders that I met during my stay in Germany. And this is really very good and very important to be a part of such a big network of experts, and to be able to share different experience with them to develop joint projects. So I highly recommend you to apply for this program. And one of the advantages of the program is that the whole application process for me is really quite easy, because it is entirely online. So you apply at the first stage only by providing the needed documents, which are really easy to prepare too. You need, as already said, the CV, and the most important thing is that you have really a clear idea about what you want to do in Germany. One other advantage for me is that you maintain all the time a very close contact also with the foundation, with the Deutsche Bundesstiftung Umwelt, and that there are people there who can support you all the time during your stay in Germany whenever you face problems. Apart from this, you are also able to attend very big and very interesting events that the foundation is organizing. For example, the Umweltpreisverleihung, the ceremony of where they give the so-called prize for environmentalists for the environment, which is really a very unique event, which is held every year. And there you can meet very prominent experts in the field of the environmental protection. So it's really, I was able to attend this event twice in my life, but it was really the two times a lifetime event for me. And all the other events that the foundation is organizing all the time, and where you can meet really experts from all over Europe and make good relations with them. So my experience is really very positive about the program. One last thing that I would like to mention is the alumni network, that every scholarship holder is getting part of these alumni networks after graduating the scholarship. And in Bulgaria, for example, we are already more than 25 such scholarships, and we really maintain also quite close contact with each other. And we did a lot of initiatives together, and we try to help each other in different personal initiative that everyone here in Bulgaria is having. So this is really also an advantage, that after your scholarship, you are becoming part of this big network of experts, of this big family of all the DBU scholarship holders. So I highly encourage everyone to apply and use this opportunity.
Okay,
so thank you.
Thank you very much, Vanya, for this experience and to get to know what the alumni are doing. So thank you very much. And to all the others, so feel free to ask questions. It's your time. You have the chance now. You already mentioned in the chat that I think all the coordinators and yeah, some alumni are here in the room. So if you have questions, it's your time now and you can ask us. Maria.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
First of
Maria.
all, thank you very much for your wonderful presentations, and thanks to Vanya for sharing her experiences. I am a PhD student from North Macedonia, and earlier in the morning, I was looking up some examples on your websites from previous fellows. And I saw, so my question is, she did some geochemical analysis. The topic is irrelevant, but it was interesting for me that it was mentioned that she sampled, she had samples from her home country. So since I'm an ecologist, this is very important in order for me to maybe structure my project. If this is possible, to take some physical material, not just computer data, of course, in order to incorporate that in the project? And is it possible to analyze some sort of samples in the host institution in Germany? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maria, for this important question. I can answer with yes. Yes, it is possible. You can take samples from your home country to the host institution. You have to clarify it with the host institution before, for sure. And maybe also there might be some requirements at the border. So you have to check this before. But I think here are also in the room some alumni who already did this. Or you can also try to get in contact with the person you have mentioned. Yes, the question is, yes, you can do that and you can make it for your plans.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, oh, sorry, that's a very complicated name for me. Aikaterini, is it right, or?
Yes, you're right. Hello.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Hi.
Hi. Thank you very much for the presentation and for all the information that you provide to us. So I also have a specific question. I am actually from Greece, and as I know, currently there are no open calls for participants from Greece, but I learned about this meeting because I'm doing my PhD in Czech Republic. So I got information from my university, and I would like to ask if there is a possibility for opening new calls for Greek participants, or what could happen as a chance for somebody that studies in a different country, because of course I'm not a permanent resident in Czech Republic officially, but I would like to know if there is a chance to apply in a way.
Yeah. Alexander Bittner already sent an answer in the chat. Alexander, would you like to give the answer and give some more information, maybe for the project founding or?
Yeah, but unfortunately, this was an answer to another question. But
Okay.
you know, for people coming for Greece. So Nicole mentioned the countries from where you know young scientists with a master degrees are eligible. Unfortunately, this is not the case with Greece, but it's not impossible to apply for a project as long as you have a German partner, even for an international project. I know one application at the moment coming from Greece, focusing on renewable energy and citizen energy. So this would be your approach, but the fellowship itself, unfortunately, is not an approach you can use. So I'm sorry for that, but maybe you should focus on an international project.
Thank you. And just to make clear, I would have to find a partner from Greece and apply through them, through their own project?
Maybe come back to me with a phone call, or we can do a video conference, because this is another topic. It's just relevant for you, and I can explain it to you personally, maybe from Wednesday on. Tomorrow
Okay.
I'm not in the office, but that's not any problem. You can call me or you can write me an email. I come back to you with a video conference link and we can discuss this in detail. Okay?
Okay, that would be great. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? I can't see any questions. Is there anything in the chat, Constanze, that we still have to answer?
Nicole,
I was about to answer.
Okay.
There's one question I can also say it loud. There's one question. Ignas asked, do you get a place to live, or you have to look for it for yourself?
Okay.
And what is the average rent prices there?
That's a
Yeah.
very important question.
That's a good question, yeah.
So yes,
okay.
everyone is responsible, him or herself, to have a look where you can get a residence located close to your host institution. But if you are not successful, we are willing to support you. But to let all of you know, when it comes to the average rent prices in Germany, there is no average. We have different regions, and the regions are even different when it comes to rent prices. So for example, Munich is very expensive. Stuttgart is very expensive. Hamburg, and maybe even Frankfurt, but Frankfurt isn't so as worse as Munich. So, but if the cities become a little bit smaller or not as well known as the mentioned ones, then the rent isn't as high. So you can have this in mind even when you think about a host institution. If it's located in Munich, then you have to expect a higher rent than, for example, in Hannover or Kassel or Gießen. So you have to have this in mind. Cuxhaven was very cheap in terms of rent. Yeah, that's true. Cuxhaven is located in the northwestern part of Germany. It's quite cheap there. So
Anna had a very comfortable flat for her own, or I don't know if it was for her own, but she lived very comfortable in Cuxhaven, I remember.
Nicole, I'd like to mention one thing. Nicole mentioned that you should have an idea. You should write a proposal focusing on a scientific idea or even more practice relevant idea. So why do we have to have this? So this idea, it is possible to change it a bit when you found a host institution, but we have to have your proposal to get an impression concerning your scientific skills, your practical skills, and we have to have this proposal even for doing a proper interview with you. So take this serious. You don't have to win the Nobel Prize with the proposal, but it should show what kind of topic you are interested in, what kind of methods you prefer, and in what way you are skilled to cope with an idea you want to present to us. So this proposal, it is not, you don't have to stick to it to every detail when you decide, or we decide to take you and you go to your host institution, but it is quite important for the evaluation process of the whole application you will do.
Yes, thank you, Alexander. Okay, yeah.
There's also one question regarding the type of English language certificate and how long it's valid. And yeah,
it's
and
nice
if we also accept a TOEFL exam from
So
a few years ago.
Yeah, so it's nice if you have a certificate in German or English language. TOEFL is also very fine, but it's not a need. It's not a need for the application. We'd like to have it, but if you can't get one in the short period, it's not a problem. And also, if the certificate is not from the last 2 or 3 years, everything is fine. Okay, are there any other questions? I can't see no more questions, so we can offer you, just feel free to contact one of us, contact the coordinators. Most of them are here and had written the email in the chat. Also, some alumni are here and offered their help. So feel free, we are lucky, or we are happy in helping you, and we are looking forward to your application in 6 weeks. And if somebody would like just to talk with us after the seminar, we will stay some more minutes in the room. And if you like to talk with us in person, you can also stay and wait. So have a nice evening.
Nicole,
Yeah.
excuse me, I think that there's one other question in the chat.
Okay.
So one last.
I don't have the chat in my, yeah. Okay, what is the question?
There's one, I have completed my master's degree, so that means that I'm no longer a student. Am I eligible for the application? Yes.
It's a question when you have completed the master degree. So that's the question. If it's not longer than 5 years, everything is fine. If there might be some things happening and personal reasons, just let us know. If you are not sure if you can apply, you can just send me your CV via email and I will have a look on it, and then we can discuss it in person.
Maybe just one advice is always worth looking at our website. There are FAQs where you can also find some questions already answered. So I just provided you the link, just have a look and you would find all the information about the application.
Okay.
And sorry, just to add to what Constanze said, that also most of the alumni network have a Facebook page where you can find information about the program also in the local language. For example, in Bulgaria, on our Facebook page, you can find information about the program in Bulgarian language, including presentations and answers to short questions, and contacts also with alumni, which could help you to develop also your topic, your proposal for the scholarship in German.
Vanya, thank you very much for this information. So I do not miss any question.
No, I think we've
everybody is
answered
fine. Okay, so I already said, feel free to contact us, ask questions. We are happy to help you. And I would be very happy to see some of you in the interviews and to read your application, and have a nice evening. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.